You all awake now? This is a new day. This is a new day full of sound, light, and expectation. We're going to hit about 75 degrees today. Good day to go fishing. This day has been waiting for you. This day has been waiting especially for you, to embrace you, to guide you. This day has been waiting with open arms just for you. This is the day that we have been given. Let's not waste it. Come now and let us worship together. We will begin with hymn number 191, that is in your gray hymnal, Now I Recall My Childhood. Abel.
Now I recall my childhood when the sun burst into my bedside and simple joy on insects, birds, and beasts, and common weeds. The grass and clouds had fullest wealth of all. My mother's voice gave meaning to the stars. Now when I turn to think of coming death, I find life's song in star songs of the night, in rise of curtains and new morning light, in life reborn, in fresh surprise of love.
I just want to let you know that children will be remaining with us during the service today. Kids, please help yourselves to the activities in the back at the table. Do so quietly and return everything when you are finished. And there are also some supplies for you to make Mother's Day cards. No pressure, only if you wish to do so. Don't worry, young wizards, we will be back in our Hogwarts classroom next Sunday.
Service, but we have some extra ones. The first of which is Louisa Berger will not be here today in order to show her slideshow, and she will find another time to do so, probably next week after church. This is the slideshow about Martin Berger's memorial service, and she is very grateful to everyone who participated in making that a very memorable occasion. Now, chronologically speaking, we invite you to the meeting of the Worship Associates at 12:30 today, where we will be discussing the meaning of freedom in the context of our religious experience and set the schedule for the rest of the month. That's our monthly theme. On Wednesday this week, we will have a meeting of the Stoking the Fire group, discussing the shared values in our church. And since we have gone through all the recently rewarded messages in our we will be discussing the concept of dissent, which features very strongly in our denomination. Next Sunday, we will be having an international foods fundraisers. And since this is the end of the year, they've decided that any international dish you would like to bring will be welcome, and it will start immediately after the service next week. We have an announcement also about the Youngstown Zen Meditation Retreat at Zazen Kai, which will be next Saturday from 7:30 to 2:30 p.m. on UUYO and Zoom, where you can join Roshi Daikin Nelson, a Zen teacher from New York City, and Reverend Joseph Boyd from our First Unitarian Universalist Church for a day-long meditative retreat and a conversation afterwards on imagination. RSVP if you would like to attend for any length of time at the service. Also, for those fond of drinking and discussion, there will be a prehistoric religious discussion on Tuesday, May 27th at 7 p.m. at the Noble Creatures at 126 East Rayan Avenue in Youngstown. Join Ryan Striffler and Reverend Joseph Boyd at this Noble Creatures Ale and Lagers for a beer and conversation about various religious practices before recorded time for a first session. Ryan will lead us into a discussion, a dialogue about animism, shamanism in the circumpolar regions of the globe. And Noble Creatures has a bunch of different beers and foods for your enjoyment. I think that's it for the announcements.
Let us reground ourselves here in our highest values. Love is the center and foundation of this faith. Love is the power that holds us together as a community. As we enter into worship, then, let us open our hearts to the healing power of liberating love. Because love is not only something we receive, but something we practice in community. Let fall away all that might distract us from the wholehearted practice of love. Let us be accountable to one another for doing the work of living our shared values through the spiritual discipline of love. As we continue to listen and learn, to act and grow, may each unfold in wholeness, both deeply loving and truly loved. Now Justine is going to light the chalice for us.
Good morning. All right, I feel blessed every year that I get to be celebrated as a mother on Mother's Day. At 38 years old, Ryan and I were surprised to find out I was pregnant after a trip to urgent care to treat some bug bites that we got on our honeymoon in Belize. We were blessed with our son Benjamin in September that year. I never imagined how much would change since then. Lifestyles, priorities, dreams, cleanliness of my house, my car, myself. I have been blessed with the very best when it comes to mothers in my life. My mother is the most selfless person I know. She always puts our needs above her own. My grandmother's very hands-on and knowledgeable. My stepmother, a friend and confidant. A mother-in-law who I'm blessed to have in my life. And many aunts, cousins, and friends who have played a mother role to me throughout my life. Becoming a stepmom myself was a challenge at first, being that I didn't know how to be a mom, but I consider my stepdaughters as my own and try to treat them as such. Being a mother is the best job I've ever had. It melts my heart every time I hear the words, "I love you, Mama. You're my best friend." And then here's the poem I found from Linda Susan Ulrich. She's a Unitarian minister, writer, musician, activist. For all the mothers and mother figures, the grandmothers, aunts, and extended family members who mother, the soon-to-be mothers, the wish they were mothers, the never wanted to be mothers, the it's complicated mothers, the birth mothers, the foster mothers, the adoptive mothers, and the stepmothers, the used-to-be dad mothers, the more than one mom mothers, the single mothers, separated mothers, stay-at-home mothers, unhoused mothers, the animal mothers, the grieving mothers, those who grieve their mothers, and those whose grief is complex. For all the communities that mother, and for all who depend on the Great Mother, you are held and beloved. We light this chalice for love of our mothers, past, present, and future. Happy Mother's Day.
Now I invite you to turn and greet your neighbors. Stand if you wish. Did you hear that? Today's story is a story written by me and illustrated by me and AI for now. I know my mom loves me because she lets me eat cookies every day. Well, really just one if I have eaten all my dinner. I know my mom loves me because she never makes me go to school on Saturdays and Sundays. I know my mom loves me because she never makes me clean my room all by myself. I know my mom loves me because she buys me whatever I want. Well, one special gift for my birthday. I know my mom loves me because she never makes me go to bed until it's bedtime. She takes care of me when I'm sick. She reads me a story every night. She takes me to the park to play. My mom loves me, and I love her too. How do you know that your mom loves you? Please join me in our covenant, the reading of our covenant, which is in your order of service. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
Our offering today will be taken in honor of the Mahoning Valley Queer Action. We passed the plate during our worship service to remind us of making a continual expression of thanks for the blessing of abundance and to support our community in a tangible way. This month, the offering goes to Mahoning Valley Queer Action, a place for advocacy and mutual aid for the LGBTQ plus community in the Mahoning Valley who face, and we will now receive the offering that supports the life of this church, the Mahoning Valley, and our wider world.
Our meditation today is actually a poem. It's called Your Mom, and it's from the Mommy Poet. Close your eyes and imagine. Do you know that feeling when you wake up in the middle of the night and it's cold and your diaper feels heavy? And there are so many strange sounds all around you, and it's dark and scary, and you get a hit in your head, and it's your hand that's on its own adventure. And you can't control it at all, and it flings itself around and scratches your face and pulls at your hair, and your legs start kicking off the duvet, even though you're cold as it is, and you try to make it stop, but they have their own will. And so you're lying there completely helpless with flailing limbs that want to do everything, but none of the things that you want. And you can't find Mom. And you call for her, and you find yourself feeling really scared. What if your beloved mom doesn't come for you? You can't imagine anything worse. and you start to cry because you miss her so terribly. You have never felt as alone as this in this very moment. And then she is suddenly there, standing right by your bed and looking at you with worry and love. And she is the most beautiful thing you have ever seen. And you grin up at her with happiness and relief. You don't think you've ever felt as happy as this very moment. And she picks you up and holds you close. And she smells like herself and also a bit like you, like milk and safety and love. And it's the best smell in the whole entire world. And she is warm and safe and soft, and her hands caress you, and she feeds you and hums your favorite tune. And you love her voice. You've known it far longer than you've really known her. It has lulled you to sleep and made you laugh and calmed you when you were distressed. It is the most beautiful voice in the whole entire world. And you get to lie right up against her, and you feel your entire body start to warm up again. And your still cold hand starts stroking her and moves up towards her neck and accidentally scratches her. Stupid, uncontrollable hand. But Mom doesn't get angry. She takes your stupid hand in hers, and it turns all warm again. And this is the best feeling in the world, right here in Mommy's arms with your hand in hers. Even the diaper doesn't feel as horrible anymore. And you feel your eyes getting heavy, and you know that everything is okay now because Mommy is here, your mom, your wonderful, incredible mom who always looks after you night and day. You look up at her one last time before you fall asleep. She looks tired and her eyes are closed, and yet she is still the most magnificent thing you know. How amazing that she wants to sit here with you in this moment. How amazing that she will always sit with you for a bit when you need her to. You smile to yourself. How lucky you were that she became your mom, the most perfect mom anyone could ever have asked for. You knew, even before you saw her, she would be the best thing in the world. Oh, how you love her, your mom.
Our reading today is Honoring Our Mothers by Gary Kowalski. Gracious Mother, matrix of creation, womb of mystery, we thank you on this day for the miracle of birth, for the fullness of life, for the power of eros and passionate love to regenerate the world. Mother Nature, Earth Mother, we lift our hearts in song for all things green and fragrant, glad with the hymns of resurrection and the rhythms of rebirth. Ancient Mother, Grandmother Spirit, we share your travail and feel the anguish of mothering, the hard work of those who labor, the pain of those who struggle with fertility, the wounds of those victimized by sex, the grief of women separated from their children. Healing Mother, midwife of change, enable us to partake of your promise to bring forth the blade from the wailing soul, to bring community out of chaos, to form from tears, rejoicing, to turn tears into rejoicing through service to you, endless source of love, cradled in your arms, nourished by your goodness, and laden with your beauty, great goddess in whom we live and move.
Don't laugh, I have to keep it above my heart. Yes, I could be an expert on Disney movies. After raising 3 children, owning my own daycare for 20 years, and working for UUYO congregations for 25 years, I think I may know a thing or two, but I am not an expert on being a mother. Throughout numerous Disney films, we see different portrayals of motherhood, each with their own unique challenges and triumphs that teach us important values and qualities. Did you notice how many mothers of the main characters are already dead at the beginning of the story, or they die right at the beginning? Why do the moms die? Some feminists, such as Amy Richards, believe it is to create dramatic interest in the main characters. If mothers were present to guide them, they argue, there would not be much of a plot. There is also a lesson in this, the absence of mothers. I do not take any time with my children or grandchildren for granted. For me, each moment is an opportunity for affection or a teaching moment. One never knows when it will be the last moment. The power of unconditional love. Does anyone in here remember the Disney animated Tarzan? Anybody? Some of the kids do. So from the moment that Kayla, the mother ape, lost her baby and plucked Tarzan from his crib, we knew she was going to be a great protector. As Tarzan grows up, he struggles with his appearance. He doesn't look like the rest of his primate family, but his mother, Kayla, never lets him feel as if he is different. When Tarzan decides he wants to leave the jungle and live a life among humans, Kayla supports Tarzan's decision and reminds him that a mother's love never ends. Kayla never gave up on him. Instead, she loved him more, providing all the support he would need to grow up feeling wanted. To Kayla, the differences between her and Tarzan never separated them. They just brought them closer together. And nothing shows a mother's unconditional love more than Dumbo. I'm sure everybody here remembers Dumbo. From the moment the stork delivers him, she loved him, big ears and all, with all of her heart. When he is bullied and teased for looking different, his mother continues to love him just the way he is. The song goes, "Rest your head close to my heart, never to part, baby of mine." Who of us has perfect children? Who of us is a perfect parent? Unconditional love accepts and cherishes individuals for who they are, regardless of their flaws or shortcomings. In the movie Encanto, Mirabel, the main character, is without special gifts when everybody else has a special gift. And her mom, Julieta, tells her, "I wish you could see yourself the way I do. You are perfect, just like this." The best moms offer love freely without expecting anything in return or based on their children's appearance or actions. They recognize the perfect in the imperfect. Balancing work and family. In The Princess and the Frog, Tiana's mother, Eudora, worked very hard and took good care of her family. Eudora wanted her daughter Tiana to be professionally successful. She kept pushing Tiana toward her dream of opening her own restaurant. She's saying, "The only way to make your dreams come true is to work really hard each and every day. Then good things are sure to come your way. You can't just sit around wishing on stars. That old star can only take you part of the way. You've got to help it with some hard work of your own." So in the Toy Story films, which I've lost track of how many there were there 4 or 5? I don't remember how many of them there were. But Andy is the main character, the main human character in the films, and his mother plays a very small role. But you can tell that she is a single mother of Andy and Molly Davis. It's unknown what happened to her husband, who is never even seen or mentioned. In the Toy Story movies, she is known for her practical and loving motherly lines. Some notable examples include, "I'm sorry, honey, but you know toys don't last forever." And, "Andy, time for dinner." And, "Don't forget to wash your hands." She's presented as a loving and supportive mother, often reminding Andy of his responsibilities. It's not clear what Andy's mom does other than being a full-time parent, but her sweet nature can be heard through her voice. And the fact that Andy and his sister have a stable home shows she must be balancing a career with her parental responsibilities. From birthday parties to yard sales to packing Andy up for college, Andy's mom did it all on her own. She made some of the saddest moments in Andy's life tolerable by showering him with care and affection. Juggling work and household responsibilities while also providing emotional support and nurturing can be overwhelming. Being a single mom, working sometimes 2 to 3 jobs all the time, in order to support my family oftentimes led to single mom guilt. Has anybody ever had single mom guilt out there? Yes, I see hands. Yeah. So I never felt like I gave my kids enough stuff, enough time, enough opportunity. Sometimes I overcompensated. See Embracing Imperfection in section 5 of this sermon. Overcoming challenges. In Toy Story 2, during Andy's birthday party, Andy's mom injures one of the army men when she accidentally steps on him coming out of the kitchen, damaging him in the process and hurting her foot as well. Annoyed, she becomes frustrated with Andy for leaving his toys in the middle of the floor and sweeps them aside with her foot, remarking that she thought she had asked Andy to pick them up before proceeding to the living room, unaware that he had not. I imagine as mothers, we have all had a million such annoyances. But like the mother who forgets the intensity of birthing pains, I think eventually we forget every single little annoyance. I know, because my kids are grown up, and I don't remember a single one. Some suggest that forgetting the intense pain of birth could be an evolutionary adaptation, as it might prevent the experience from discouraging future reproduction. Right, ladies? If we could remember that intense pain, would we ever do it again? Finding joy in the everyday. In Snow White, the dwarves are stand-ins for orphan children, 7 of them. Snow does what the queen cannot do. She adopts motherless children, and she loves them as her own. Snow cared for each of them and took care of each of their individual needs. She knew how hard they worked, and they were so tired when they came home. She wanted them to be happy. Here is what she told them. "When I was a little girl, my mother taught me how to whistle. So even when I'm afraid to speak, I whistle, because when you whistle, it's your heart singing. And that voice, the one that's hidden in your heart, can be heard. When hearts are high, the time will fly. So whistle while you work." My 2 youngest children were homeschooled for about 5 years. And I was serious about homeschooling. Education was and still is very important to me. Both Jimmy and Katrina can still remember me tearing up their work and making them start over. But though the work was serious, I taught them in ways that made the work fun and made the time fly. I still remember teaching Katrina about science and Jimmy about math using a tea can and figures of Winnie the Pooh and Piglet floating down a hill while it was pouring down rain on a street near our apartment in Bullhead City, Arizona. We laughed and splashed through that lesson that taught Katrina about the weather and Jimmy about probability. Even when working hard, a little cheer can go a long way in making the work fly by. In The Princess and the Frog, Eudora was mostly in the background, watching her daughter Tiana work towards her dreams of owning a restaurant. And while she was completely supportive of Tiana's goals, she was also concerned that Tiana might forget how to have fun. So Eudora was always there for Tiana with supportive gestures and wise words that served to remind Tiana that while it was good to work hard, there's more to life than labor. There are friends, celebrations, and romances to be pursued. While raising my children, I was very intentional about downtime. We had lots of parties, attended a great many as well. We swam. Many times when I owned my own daycare, we would shoot out the door after the last kid left and jump into the pool. We had our swimsuits on under our clothes. We were ready. We went fishing, we went to movies and on walks, and after saving up each year from one of my jobs, we took vacations. We went to Disneyland, and one year we even went all the way to Disney World for 2 weeks. It got old after 2 weeks, though, I can tell you. Embracing imperfection. I'm going to talk about the fairy godmothers. In Cinderella, the fairy godmother is a motherly, kind, and genuine character with an optimistically pure heart. She serves as a physical symbol of hope in Cinderella's life and speaks with a gentle tone. Though wise, the fairy godmother tends to be comically absent-minded, continuously loses sight of the obvious, and has a habit of both losing her wand and forgetting her magic words, which were bippity-boppity-boo, right. Even so, she can piece together her mind quickly enough and enjoys her ability to ensure dreams come true, treating Cinderella as her own daughter, in a sense. And in Sleeping Beauty, fairy godmothers Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather devise a plan to hide Aurora in a secluded location and raise her themselves until her 16th birthday. The fairies move into a forest cottage, giving up magic and living as peasants so as not to be discovered. Merryweather is as loving and godmotherly as her dippy sisters, but she also brings a welcome streak of rationality and stubbornness. When she's using magic and arguing about what color Princess Aurora's dress should be, it leads to their discovery and the curse of sleeping until true love's kiss. Whew, that was a big mistake. So I have definitely made mistakes as a mother. I question myself often. I know there were times when I was selfish. I know there were times when I snapped at them, and times when I chose to stay in my room and read for a while instead of giving them the attention that they were asking for in the given moment. But motherhood is hard, and there really is no instruction manual with these things. Looking back on it, however, I can recall some of the life lessons that I taught them, the support and encouragement I gave them, and the stability that they had growing up. I know I did my best, and I did most of it single-handed. No pun intended. So, I'm going to tell you who my all-time favorite Disney mom is. You probably would never guess it. So, the Winnie the Pooh character, Kanga, is the epitome of what it means to be a mother. She's the person who gives warm hugs, takes care of anyone feeling under the weather, and provides a shoulder to lean on, all while giving sage advice and a comforting smile. Although Kanga's only child is Rue, she became something of an honorary mother to the rest of the 100 Acrewood citizens. Kind of like me with my daycare and my UU kids, so I can relate. So some of the wisdom from Kanga. If you go on making faces like piglets, you will grow up to look like a piglet, and then think how sorry you will be. She was funny. Well, look in my cupboard, Tigger dear, and see what you'd like. She never refuses a hungry child. Yep. Challenge. I had it. And when Rue was washing his face and paws in the stream, Kanga explained to everybody proudly that this was the first time he had ever washed his face himself. She never passes up the chance to embarrass her child.
Thank you for watching over me. All of the sleepless nights you lay awake. Thank you for knowing when to hold me close and when to let me go. Thank you for every stepping stone and for the path that always leads me home. I thank you for the time you took to see the heart inside of me. You gave me the roots to start this life, and then you gave me wings to fly. And I learned to dream because you believed in me. There's no power like it in this earth, no treasure equal to its worth. The gift of a mother's love. Thank you for every sunlit day that filled the corners of my memory. Thank you for every selfless, unsung deed I know you did for me. Thank you for giving me the choice to search my soul till I could find my voice. And I thank you for teaching me to be strong enough to bend. You gave me the roots to start this life, and then you gave me wings to fly. And I learned to dream because you believed in me. There's no power like it on this earth, no treasure equal to its worth. The gift of a mother's love. I thank God for a mother's love.
Source of life, spirit of love, we come together with our humanity to unite us and yet live with so many differences. We face a day like this with a vast range of emotion here on this Mother's Day. A day that began as a proclamation crying out for peace, calling for the end to all war, a day that lost its noble beginnings and somehow became a greeting card cliche, demanding a perfect image of motherhood. Year after year, I think of the love and the loss this day evokes. I know that I cannot possibly name the complexity of all that is felt, but I offer up thanks for those who have carried us into this world, who have loved us, who have wished to love and to be loved, who have stood by us in the quiet hours and in times of transition and pain, who have been with us through times of joy and celebration. I offer up love and compassion for those grieving the loss of their mothers, for those lamenting mothers unable to be present in their lives, and for those regretting painful or complex relationships. I offer up love and compassion for mothers who are grieving the loss of their children, and for those who dream of motherhood that never comes. I offer up thanks for all those in our lives who have mothered us or mentored us, and for all the loving, caring, mentoring, mothering, or parenting we have shared in our lives, for all that we have given birth to, whether it be a child, a garden, or a song. May we give ourselves permissions to let go of any expectations or disappointments. May we forgive ourselves for all that has been left unsaid or undone. May we find healing in our memories or in our own resilience. May we open our hearts to the blessings of the ones who have taught us how to love in life. May we find in ourselves the capacity to fill this day with love. Please rise and join us in singing hymn number 1051 that is in your teal hymnal, We Are, and we are going to go straight through it with no repeats.
And dreams from morning to who we are, for each we are our grandmother's prayers, and we are our grandfather's dreamings. We are the breath of our ancestors. We are the Spirit of God. We are mothers of courage and fathers of time. We are daughters of dust and the sons of great visions. We're sisters of mercy and brothers of love. We are lovers of life and the builders of nations. We're seekers of truth and keepers of faith. We are makers of peace and the wisdom of ages. We are our grandmother's prayers, and we are our grandfather's dreamings. We are the breath of our ancestors. We are the Spirit of God. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are.
As you depart, may you find peace and joy in this day. May you hold in your hearts all the mothers of any kind. And whether you are a mother or you are a child of one, which we all are, do not forget this one truth: you are loved.
this flame, but we keep its light in our hearts with its message of love and justice, taking it outside these walls to the world until we are together again.
And if you know some of the words to this last song we're playing, please sing along.
I'm half crazy, all for the love of you. On a bicycle built for two. Daisy, Daisy, she was my son for thee. I'm half crazy, all for the love of you.